thanks for having you. Yeah, just a little explanation from you. Why is it so important to work as a colorist with a TV like this?
Well, it is important to have if I was to be a composer and I was to compose a music piece, I would want to have my piano tuned properly so that when I'm choosing the right notes and I'm writing the music, I can actually, I know how this is really going to sound and how it should sound like. So, it's the same thing when you're coloring and when you're mastering film that millions of people are supposed to see. You really want to know that the images you're seeing are going to be or they're as accurate or as intended to be. So it's an instrument.
Okay, so then it's a big instrument.
Now it's actually what it's supposed to be, because for higher brightness you need a little bit surface. You need a bigger screen just to emit that amount of light and energy. So now it's actually better to fill the grading theater with more light and more energy.
I always thought it's great that Panasonic is listening to filmmakers, but so filmmakers are not one big crowd. They are all different people with different creative ways to do the movie. So what do you think? Why can Panasonic say it is the filmmaker? It's near to the filmmaker's vision because they are so different.
Well, exactly. It doesn't matter what the vision is. The important thing is what the filmmaker intended and has signed off as an image that they intended it to be, that people at home can see. It doesn't have to be only the most beautiful, the brightest and the more saturated image. It could be also very grainy and very dark and very almost even black and white. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they can see at home what filmmaker intended, and that is really beautiful. This is really what's nice. And it's interesting. We thought that there could be a new professional model, but because the professional market is so small, I think what they're doing is even better. They're kind of putting a professional model on the consumer market as well, which is great. So we can basically professionals get the screen that they want and consumers can get something better than what they expected. So I think it's working really well.
Okay. So you're doing movies, but you're also doing TV series?
Correct. And commercials.
So are there differences in colorization?
Absolutely. There is a big difference, feature films, they get done in a much longer span of time. So last movie I worked on, it took almost 3 months to do. So that was the biggest difference. So because of that, you have more time to do it. You work more precisely and so on. TV series, they have to go very quickly, very fast. So an episode of a Netflix TV series is done in 4 days or something like that. Okay. So we don't have that much time, but we still have to deliver amazing looking image. So it's a slightly different approach, to work and to amount of detail that we put in. Where about commercials again are a completely different story. Again, the commercials hey, how are we gonna make something look as beautiful as out of this world? So they're much more intense and so on. And commercials, they have to work on every medium. They have to work on a mobile phone, on TV screen, on a laptop, on everything. So we have to be aware of that as well. So they all have a little bit different story.
And there's now an interesting discussion going on about those great TV series we have now. Do they have to be on the big screen in cinemas? Could you imagine to?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we finished them to the level that they can easily be on those screens and they can hold up easily any big cinema screen. There's absolutely no doubt. And actually, some of them have got a better picture quality than majority of independent cinema does today. If you compare how independent cinema looks, and you compare how a good TV series looks on Netflix looks better. So, there's no doubt whether they can go to the big screen or not. The question is whether they need to at all, because the audience available online is so big now, so why would you even bother, for trying to get into cinema anyway?
So can you tell us what's the way you're consuming movies or series?
I go regularly to the cinema, and for me, cinema is just something I enjoy doing because I have a different perspective on the film. You know, there's no disturbance. You know, and the size of the screen, I love it. I enjoy it. So I tend to see majority of movies that I'm not interested in, really from the story perspective and emotional perspective in the cinema, because I believe the artist has intended us to see them like that. But you know, I am a big fan of episodic television, and I have certain programs and certain series that I also, you know, if it's a bad weekend and the weather outside, I get stuck at home and I watch like all the episodes of True Detective if necessary. So, you know, that's pretty much, you know, how I consume it as well. I love True Detective, it just came up to me, but you know, like I also love, there is a few of them, you know, that I follow at the moment, but you know, I think there's not enough hours in a day to watch them all, you know. Time problem, you know, I know, yeah.
In Vegas at CES, do you have a chance to look around?
I'm here just for that reason. You know, I'm here, I've kind of, you know, deliberately said, can we like do this early so that I can get to see a little bit as well.
So what are your favorite gadgets?
VR. I want to go see VR. Yeah, I like to see what's VR happening. I really like VR actually, you know, that's an interesting thing. And also I want to see like a little bit like, you know, what the outdoor screen, you know, I'm a big fan of big screens for the streets, you know, like those screens as well. I want to see how far they got. And so this is my kind of, you know, going to be two areas I like to see.
Do you think VR has a chance with feature films?
No, not really. Nothing to do with that. But it's got a great chance because it's another medium, you know, that is actually, you know, can get you involved really well. And I think the quality of VR just got to the threshold where I feel we can work with it. So, you know, I kind of don't think that films can work in such a way. Maybe some scenes can, but I think the quality is just good enough for us to be able to get involved.
Okay. Sounds great. So maybe we see something in VR from you.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks a lot. Yeah, cheers.